Alright guys, I don't know what happened with my last live stream. For some reason it just cut out, so I hope this one works a little bit better. So, I'm in Ceres, California right now. Nice little neighborhood here. I'm here on the balcony, just hanging out. What's up, Maze 415? Joey Rocket, what's going on, buddy? I'm in Ceres, California. I'm actually going to be heading your way, Joey Rocket. The guy here that I'm working with wants to fly me out to Phoenix, so we're planning a trip out there probably in the next couple of days. So that should be good. Back on the grind. Crypto Kitties is changing the world. Corn Pilot, what's going on? Yeah, man. I was doing Sapito with my shaman in Indian Canyon, kind of just outside of Hollister, California. Like indescribable experience. You know, for anyone that hasn't tried it, it's this particular one is the toad medicine. This is called Sapito. It's you can look a little bit into it. I'm actually interested in looking into some more videos and whatnot, but really awesome experience. The guy that I was working with has been doing it a while. He's a good dude. Yeah, so the basically what it is see if I can bring this up a little bit. It's from a Cenaran desert toad. You basically milk the toad. It has poisonous glands on the toad, so it doesn't hurt the toad, but you basically you milk some of those out. It crystallizes and becomes hard, and you vaporize it and you smoke it, and it sends an explosion of DMT in the brain, and you start to kind of go through your journey, your trip for over the next 20 to 30 minutes. It's pretty incredible. I've done it once before. Did it back in July. This one was a little bit more intense. Did a little bit more than I did the previous time. So it's it's completely safe, completely natural. It's a really amazing experience. Up in the canyon, you're very secluded. There's no one really around to disturb you, except for if we had some crows and some animals in the canyon. But it's yeah, it's a real beautiful experience. I was considering doing like a video. I did a couple of videos where I was recording, and I decided I would just rather probably do a live stream and kind of talk a little bit more generically about some of the things. Might be doing it again here in the next week or so before I go back over to Asia. But yeah, I've never been around. We had, you have some of those campfire talks. I haven't had a campfire talk. Just one-on-one with my shaman. That was amazing experience. I'll check in with the chat here a little bit. I missed some. Yeah, Joey Rocket. It's essentially a psychedelic. It's not really something that's going to give you visuals. It's some people report having visuals essentially with their eyes closed. It's for everyone it's a little bit different, and the dosages might be a little bit different. It might hit you a little bit differently the different times you do it. So yeah, so I mean we did it in a group last time, and it was we had a group of like 6 or 7. So this was a little bit different. It was a little bit more of a private session. But yeah, it's an amazing experience, and it's really difficult to kind of put into words, what you kind of go through these. But for me, a lot of the things I've been thinking about over the past few weeks have all really kind of centered around Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the blockchain event, some of the people I've been networking with, and so that was kind of fresh on my mind, at least for this trip. So I had a lot of a lot of things kind of centered around family and friends in my previous trip, and also like safety and security. This one is a little bit, I was able to go a little bit deeper, and yeah, just having the chance to kind of reflect over that over the campfire, beautiful experience. In the canyon, we had a full moon. It was, it was great. So when we do some of these sessions, typically the Indian Canyon area is the preferred place. So it's about about an hour and a half drive from here, so it's not too far away. It's but it's nice and secluded. You're driving on this windy kind of canyon road for a good half hour or so really before you kind of get to your destination. So it's really out there. There's just a few facilities, the things you might need. Did the voices tell you to send me one BTC? Yeah, but I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go a little bit over the market. So since I really haven't done that in a little bit, just to kind of document some of the stuff we've been seeing. Bitcoin currently at 11,500. It's been holding fairly strong. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a better view on this. So Ethereum has been, progressively kind of coming up a little bit. Bitcoin Cash holding fairly strong at 1550. Ripple, IOTA's been just on a tear lately. It's up, to almost $3 when it was at 50 cents. That was really kind of a missed opportunity on my part. It kind of makes me a little bit sore because it looks like it's still going to be trending up. Dash has just had an incredible rise, hitting 800 at one point. So it's been doing good. Litecoin looks like it's poised for a breakout. It's been at $100. Seems fairly undervalued, but then again, it just really hasn't been performing all that well. But it has some history in the market. Bitcoin Gold seems like a sleeper. Cardano, Monero is always a good buy, but it's up a little bit. Neo's up quite a bit, so Neo's going to be a strong hold for me. And then you've got BitConnect that's been pushing out all-time highs here lately. So it's been interesting to see kind of the progression of these coins. We have almost 20 that are over $1 billion market cap coins. So that's that's great to see. Yeah, crushing on Neo. I'm holding a lot of Neo right now as well. Epic Hustler, what's going on? No one knows about Argos yet. Let's take a look. Oops. Yeah, Argos got a $42 million market cap, so fairly respectable. Now at $1. It's up a little bit, has a little bit of market history. It's been around since September 2015. It's looked like or August 2015 is when it first hit the market. So it's got almost 2 years of history here. It's remained relatively low, kind of saw a little bit of a jump in price and has really exploded here recently. Most of it's just in the volumes. Yeah. EOS is up 531%. Do you think Monocoin will be over the next little while? Do you think it will be or keep on rising? Let's take a look at Monocoin. Yeah, it's been progressively rising as we just saw a little bit of a surge in volumes. Let me see if I can bring this up here. So you can see Monocoin Recently here, we had a huge spike in price along with volumes, and now it's kind of progressively trending up. Taking a look at the markets. It's been trading on Bittrex, primarily on this Japanese exchange. That's encouraging to see. I don't know much about this safe. Let's take a look at this. Bitcoin, Monocoin. It's doing some substantial volume. So this is a looks like it's trading in Japan and Bittrex. Yeah, I could see that as a real interesting coin to get into, especially now that we're kind of seeing it slowly trending up. Where is it on this exchange? So this is the busiest exchange that it's trading on, number 7. So please come to Delhi. Yeah, actually, I am very interested in going to Delhi. So I'm going to be going to Dubai on the 15th, 16th, 17th. I don't know how long I'm going to be in Dubai. I kind of wanted to be there maybe for a week. But after that, I was going to go to Surat, India, and I was talking with some people there about checking out maybe a city or two also around India. And Delhi was like number 1 on my list. So I would really like to make a trip out to Delhi and kind of meet some of the BitConnect community out there. So Michael Crypto, I've been talking with him a lot lately, and he's going to be doing like this whole kind of tour through India, which will be really interesting to see. So he's going to be traveling to multiple cities throughout India and kind of documenting that with a videographer and putting together some sort of documentary, it looks like. So that should be really interesting to see, because that's a little bit different than what you see with a lot of the other YouTubers right now. You're not really seeing like a documentary style cryptocurrency like venture, especially through like a foreign country like that. I think that'll be really interesting to see. I'm hearing that BTC will pull back to around 5K in the spring. What's your thoughts? Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, holy cow, if I saw it at $5 grand, I'd be buying like crazy. It's if you're looking at the charts and understanding that this is a fixed market cap, it's or a fixed coin supply. There's only going to be so many coins. There's only going to be 21 million, and they're getting harder and harder and harder to come by. So I think that, you know, it's when you think about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin has always been number 1. It's always the name brand. When you think of cryptocurrency, the first thing you think of is Bitcoin. And whatever the Bitcoin is, even you have a lot of these forks, and perhaps these forks might even be a better platform to scale or to do some different things. But when it comes down to it, people are always going to want Bitcoin. So it might not be the most efficient. A lot of the transactions are not there, but it is by far the most expensive coin, and you'll continue to see that trend until there's a use case scenario to have another coin really dethrone it. I mean, I was considering, you know, earlier this year that we might see one of the altcoins surpass Bitcoin just based on the volumes, because there wasn't a whole lot of volume of Bitcoin being traded, but we're still seeing, you know, volumes. The Bitcoin dominance is still over 50%. It's currently at 55%, and I don't see prices coming down substantially, and that's a huge fear with people that are new to cryptocurrency. I feel like they don't really want to invest a whole lot of money into something and have it drop, and so that's an understandable fear. There's other ways to kind of mitigate that risk, and you know, but as far as Bitcoin goes, is, you know, if anything, I think we're going to see $20,000 Bitcoin before we see it drop, you know, several $1,000s. Once it hits the futures market, this thing they're talking about with the stock exchange here in the States, watch out. Some great people doing the BitConnect thing at the moment. The community is getting stronger and stronger. Clover, love your vlogs. Great, glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing behind this particular platform, is it's more based on community and bringing on, you know, all different types of people together. And I think the thing that people really see are in BitConnect. You know, they're that says something. You don't see the same. You can't say the same for any other coin. So BitConnect has, you know, most of the top YouTubers promoting their platform. That's a pretty big deal. Hey, crypto. What did I miss? Jam Jackpot. Just been hanging out. If you guys have questions, let me know. I mean, I'm open book. Clover, do you have a regular job or do you just do cryptos for your income? Yeah, I mean, I've been on pretty much just doing crypto since earlier this year. Once I was making enough money, I had some properties I was managing. I don't know how that's going to go. I left that business up to my brother's fiance, and she doesn't necessarily want to, uh, maybe do that as much anymore. So, going to be looking to possibly have somebody maybe take over that responsibility. See if I can grow that kind of a real estate business. I've got some different things I'm kind of working on. One of them's here. So one of the guys I'm working with here, he's doing a real estate uh, blockchain coin platform. It looks really good, and got some big names behind it. It's got John McAfee's behind it apparently. So he's got some others huge names that are behind this new ICO he's putting out. Um, so I'm really interested to see where it's going. He's also built an exchange where he's going to be trading BitConnect and a few other of the top alt market coins. So dude's pretty brilliant. Are there any nice girls where you're at? Don't hide. um, yeah, I don't know about so much here in the valley. I'm not really into American girls to be quite honest. I mean, I like talking to them, but to be quite honest, they're all messed up in the head. You know, American culture has really poisoned the minds of the women. You know, there's a lot. Like we were talking about that last night. I was talking about that quite a bit um, with my buddy and just around the campfire. And there's just a lot of differences when you start to travel a little bit. You get outside the U.S. and you start to see things a little bit differently. It's you know, um, yeah. I guess that's probably about all I'm going to say on that. But yeah, I mean, American women, they're brought up in a culture that's really centered around media. They're just being blasted with different types of information, and I don't know if you really necessarily get that to the same extent in foreign countries. It's a little bit different everywhere you go, uh, but yeah, I mean, sex sells in America, and um, you go to a place like Indonesia, and you would never see that ever. It's 85% of the Indonesian population is Muslim. That would be very taboo. It's just completely different. You go to Vietnam, it's different. You go to Thailand, they're a little bit more open-minded. There's a little bit more um, um, things that are accepted, not so necessarily taboo. Yeah, a lot of sexual harassment lawsuits lately too, and it's a he said she said deal. American girls are cool, but so many have hang-ups with all the social issues. Yeah, yeah. I think that's a good point, Big Mike. Yeah, I think that's about enough about girls. I get off on that topic. I need to get back to talking about crypto. I think one of the things I wanted to also kind of mention a little bit is I'm going to be working a little bit more on building teams, building people, getting people a little bit more connected. I'm interested in connecting with the female market, and that's I think a huge area of opportunity. 96, 97% of the cryptocurrency um, pool of people that are in this space are men. So it really hasn't hit the female market yet, and I think there's a lot of women that are interested in getting into it. They just don't know where to start. They don't know enough about it, and they see things that intimidate them a little bit. So I'm looking to work to develop a little bit more of female promoters, as well as people that are looking to kind of build, community giving incentive to build teams. And however I need to kind of help to do that, I'm looking to try to do my part. So I'm gonna start doing that a little bit with a few people that I've currently met and interacted with, and I'm hoping that that might be a good opportunity to build some people that can kind of replicate some of the things that I've been doing. So what I need to do is really try to help guide some of the people in this space, because I think a lot of people are approaching me really wanting to know how to get started, how to really just kind of put yourself out there, and what do I talk about if I don't know anything? If I feel like a little bit of an outsider, and I can't really speak at a high level about cryptocurrency because it's still a very new topic for me, and I think that's a huge hurdle that I'm trying to kind of work with women, and finding some different ways to kind of get people started. We need a Clover's Girls channel. Yeah, women in crypto. Uttar Pradesh state in India has a population of 199 million. Is that what it's saying? 2012 numbers? That is crazy. That's like the entire size of the U.S. India's huge. There's so many people. What is it, like 4 or 5 times the amount of people in that country than we have here in the U.S.? I'm very interested in going out there and spending some time and learning more about the Indian market. There's some great developers there. Actually, the guy that I'm working with here, he wants to also fly me out to Pakistan, so Lahore, Pakistan, to work with some of his developers. So I might take a trip into Pakistan while I'm there as well. India, China, and South Asia will lead the future market, especially in India. Cryptos in Pakistan, you better believe it. It's all over the world. Sounds weird going to Pakistan. How are things going on for BCC in India? It's comparable to the U.S. in terms of volume. So there's a lot of people that are really starting to get in. I mean, some huge communities, right? It's a huge population there, and there's a lot of people that were in BitConnect from the beginning are um, have some of the early pioneers with BitConnect are from India. So that guy was 16 million in BCC in India. So the guy that I was referencing some earlier in my videos about that uh, was in Vietnam. I haven't seen it personally, but it's what I've been told, and my sources were good. So that's the largest account that I've heard of. Whether or not that's all active, I mean, they may have put in 16 million and gotten capital releases back, because it only takes 120 days to get your money back. Um, and then I saw some really big accounts in India, some huge accounts in India. So looking forward to go out in there and meeting some of these guys. Hey Clover, is passport all you need to get into those countries you're going to? Wondering about visas. So I got to get a visa to go to India. I'm not really sure about Pakistan. Pakistan's a little bit seems a little bit risky. They talk a lot. They ask a lot of questions on, that's a very in a lot of ways people might look real down on that one. Essentially that's where Osama bin Laden was captured, supposedly, if you believe that story. I don't. But that's a topic for another thing. But yeah, I think I'm very interested. Lahore, Pakistan, is one of the most progressive cities in Pakistan, so I think that's going to be a very interesting city to check out. Yeah, India has a lot of really rich people. I believe it. Yeah, how do you think it will go with the U.S. now trying to get people to disclose all their crypto assets? You knew that was coming, right? You knew that was down the pipeline, and they're now putting it into effect. So, or at least that's the law. I mean, it's not law yet, right? It's just a law that's being proposed. So they could put this together, and it could get turned down. From what I've heard, Trump is pretty pro crypto. He's got some people that are pro crypto in his circle. So he's as far as the bill goes, he's got veto power. They have some big, huge investors in Dubai also. Yeah. It is quite obvious that the U.S. will try to get a hand in this right. Better flee the U.S. if you live off crypto. Yeah. You know, uh, Me personally, I'm going to go where I'm treated best. So if there's another country where it's more acceptable or Bitcoin is more acceptable, that's where I'm going to go because that's where the future is. That's where technology is. That's why I'm really interested in going to some of these hotspots in Asia where we're seeing just a lot of activity. What do you think about Litecoin? Will it keep moving up? Yeah, I think it's a good one. It's basically a faster version of Bitcoin. So, um, it doesn't have the community that BitConnect has, and you've seen Charlie Lee been very critical of BitConnect in that respect. While BitConnect is rivaling the market cap of Litecoin. They don't have the community that we have in BitConnect, and I think that's huge. And I think that's a critical mistake. He's looking at it from a programmer mentality. He's not looking at it as a means of value. Your coin is as valuable as your community makes it, and I think that's a huge overlooked element to the BitConnect platform. The IRS got you no matter where you go if you are a citizen. Yep, that's why That's why you see some of these people in cryptocurrency looking to renounce their passport. I think I'm gonna probably have to at some point. So, there's if I can, get a passport in Singapore, it's actually better than a U.S. passport. A little bit harder to get, I'm sure, but I'm gonna be looking into that. Do you have any altcoins that you're thinking of getting into soon? I've been favorable on Binance Coin. I think that's an interesting coin. A lot of the billion-dollar market cap coins, I think all of them are good. I think all of them are worthwhile getting into, or at least putting a little bit of money behind. I think part of it is just trying to find the right timing with the market, trying to find the right buy-in price. So if you see one down comparative to the other coins, that's typically where I go. The referral program sets BCC apart from most other top coins when it comes to the community aspect. Yeah, so you're getting you're getting people in the referral program that are starting to do really really well and are essentially asking for help from their sponsors. And so that's another thing is working relationships with your sponsors, because I would be interested in giving money back to the people on my team and the people that I'm working with. If they can show me what they're going to do with the money. If they have a awesome plan, I'd fund it. Why not? I want to help build teams, build networks, and I think that's important. You should be working with your team, and you should be working with your downline. And I think that you're going to start to see more of that trending here as the people in the BitConnect community are trying to grow the platform. I feel like I'm quite lucky living in Sweden right now. It feels like they barely know about Bitcoin is here yet, so it's quite nice. When calming down, they come in and regulate, and then it's too late. Sweden's, is a innovative country. The whole Northern Europe area there, Finland, Norway. So they're I think a little bit more accepting of these technologies, and you're not going to see them crack down as much. I think you're starting to see it first in some of these other countries where the government wants a hand, and what this kind of financial explosion that you're seeing in some of these different markets. So there's some big money that's being thrown around now in cryptocurrency, and you can't ignore it anymore. And it really just started happening this year. This wasn't a huge topic last year. It's only once the markets exploded, and now you see everyone wanting their cut essentially. Kovalam Beach in Kalura, India is really nice. Yeah, I've been hearing, I'm not the biggest beach guy, but I'll probably check out maybe a beach or two um, in India. CryptoClover, the next Jeff Berwick, living free and traveling the world, a citizen of the world. Yeah, crypto citizen. All right, I've been on a while, so I'm probably going to take a few more questions. Um, maybe cut the stream in about you know 4 minutes or so. Glover, did you get to meet the new influential marketers coming under Glenn R. Carl? I met a few of them, so he's doing some interesting networking, and he's working with some network marketers, and so he's focusing on what he's focusing on. I'm in Denmark, and the central bank is talking about e-money and that all citizens should have a central bank account. Central bank cryptocurrencies will come in Scandinavia. The European market's really interesting. We don't really, as far as the BitConnect community, there's only one guy right now that's a top promoter that's in Europe, and that's Belgium. So, we're gonna see there's gonna be a lot of opportunity for BitConnect in Europe. Who's my sponsor? So it's Robert with Vietnam. So he doesn't speak English. So I work primarily with his wife Helen. So the two of them were some of the original people in BitConnect, and at the time when you were able to kind of move your sponsors around and whatnot, I decided to go under the Vietnamese team as a way of kind of communicating or breaking a kind of a barrier there. So I'm kind of getting outside of the U.S. and working with a sponsor that doesn't speak the same language, so we can't essentially talk to each other without a translator. And I think that's an interesting element, and it's an interesting challenge to kind of work through. And so I was interested in doing that, and kind of breaking some of those barriers. And so English to Vietnamese is very, very difficult. The translations are very difficult, and much more so than some of the other Asian countries where you have, English is a little bit more widely spoken in, say, like, the Philippines, and, even in some places in Indonesia or Thailand. The Vietnamese to English translation is very difficult, and I'm hearing the same thing about Korean. So, you know, you have Google Translator that you can kind of use to communicate, but there's there's only so much you can do, I guess, with that. So um, I've been fortunate to have a few lady translators. I know my audience has enjoyed that, but that really does help break the communication barrier, especially if you have someone that knows what you want. Escala. You ever thought of selling CryptoClover merch? That'd be kind of cool. I didn't even think about that. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be branding it like that. Glenn's done his like future money thing, which is kind of not like a personal thing. It's kind of more of like his own entity. So there's the branding element of it. Whether or not I do something that's tied to me personally, or if I just do something that's kind of non-personal and kind of work more to promote that. But I got to do a little bit more travels before I kind of decide on that. Juliana, what's going on? Yeah, California. I was just about to get off though, so I might take another question or so. Try not to have these streams go too long. Why don't I do a little change of topic here? Um, this was something I came up with. Google team building. This is a Wikipedia. 4 approaches: setting goals, role clarification, problem solving, interpersonal relationships. So that's an interesting way to kind of